Okay, so we are back with Aaron. And Aaron, I'm going to read you a story, and then I'm going to have you answer some questions, okay?
Okay.
Alright, and Aaron's going to talk a little bit louder, because we're out here outside and it's kind of loud. Okay, so the story. In Europe, a woman was near death from a special kind of cancer. There was one drug that the doctors thought might save her. It was a form of radium that a druggist in the same town had recently discovered. The drug was expensive to make, but the druggist was charging 10 times what the drug cost him to make. He paid $200 for the radium and was charging $2,000 for a small dose of the drug. The sick woman's husband, Heinz, went to everyone he knew to borrow the money, but he could only get together about $1,000, which is half of what it costs. He told the druggist that his wife was dying and asked him to sell it cheaper or to let him pay later. But the druggist said, "No, I discovered the drug and I am going to make money off of it." So Heinz got desperate and broke into the man's store to steal the drug for his wife. Okay, so that's the story. So the first question is for you to think about is, should the husband have done this? Why or why not?
Broke into the store to get the drug?
Yeah, as in breaking into the store and stealing the drug.
From my point of view, I say he was in the right to do it. When it comes down to the loved ones, you do anything for them. And I really don't see that he was in the wrong. I see that the guy selling the drug was in the wrong.
Okay. So, alright. That's a good point of view. That's alright. So you already said that you thought it was right for him to steal it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think that Heinz has a duty or obligation to steal the drug? You kind of already answered that, but go ahead and reiterate.
I don't really think it's his duty to do it. I think it's in his best interest if he really loves his wife like that, you know?
Okay.
If he wants her to live.
That's true. Okay, well, that actually opens our next question.
100%.
Our next question is, if Heinz doesn't love his wife, should he steal the drug for her? And does it make a difference in what Heinz should do, whether or not he loves his wife?
It does make a difference.
It does?
Yeah, it does. If you really love your wife, I'd say you'd go beyond what you have to do to get that drug for her. You know, even if she wasn't dying. But if you're really not in love with her, I would say you shouldn't have married her in the first place. I mean, if she, you know, it just comes down. If they have kids, then yeah, go ahead. But if not, then I wouldn't bother.
Okay, alright. Okay, how about, what if the person that was dying was not his wife, but a stranger? Should he steal the drug for the stranger?
If he's kind-hearted, yeah, I would. I'd do the same thing. I really don't. If I really didn't know the person, but I know enough to know that they don't have the money to come up with it, and they'll have loved ones missing them, then I would do what I have to do in order for them to live.
Okay. Alright, well, what if it was a pet animal that he loves? Then should he steal to save the pet animal?
I really don't know. I mean, it's gonna sound messed up, but animals could be replaced, you know. But I don't want to come off as I hate animals. I love animals, but they could be replaced. But it's not worth doing the time, you know, in jail or prison if he ends up getting caught just because of a dog or a cat. You know?
Okay, all right. Okay. The next question is it important for people to do everything they can to save another's life?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So Okay. Sorry. The question is, just pretend that it is not against the law for Heinz to steal, does it make it morally wrong? Oh, I'm sorry. That's not the right question. I read it wrong. The real question is, it is against the law. Okay, it is against the law for Heinz to steal. Does it make it morally wrong?
No, it doesn't. I really don't. It doesn't. I really don't think it is wrong.
Okay. All right. Okay, so the next question is, in general, should people try to do everything they can to obey the law?
No. Some laws have to be broken. Not all laws have to be followed. You know, I mean, when it comes down to a loved one, like I said, you do anything for them. But if it's something simple as going to steal 99-cent candy, I really wouldn't do it. I wouldn't break that law. That's jail time. I mean, you really got to think about the situation. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's really not just about, oh, she's dying, I'm gonna go steal something for her. It's do what you can legally, and what you cannot come up with, do it illegally.
Okay. All right. So, thinking about the druggist, because we haven't talked about him. What about the druggist? Do you think that's... Well, you already established that you thought he was wrong, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, what about his side of the story? I'm just going to play devil's advocate. He has to make his money by selling drugs. Like, that's how he makes his money and pays his bills. So is it fair that Heinz stole his drugs? That's how he makes money. Is it fair to the druggist?
Yeah, I don't think it is. I really don't think it is.
Things get complicated.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's crazy because that's his way of making money, but at the same time, I really don't know. It's weird because at the same time you want to help somebody you love, but at the same time you're kind of screwing someone over. I just don't know.
Yeah, it's hard.
I'd be mad if I was the druggist, you know. I would.
Yeah.
I couldn't say I saw it coming, but you know, I would have saw it.
All right, and then here's another question. All right, what about other people? Let's say there was another family that needed that drug, and because Heinz stole it, there wasn't enough dosages for that person, and so now they can't get the drug. Now, what do you think? Is it right or wrong?
Yeah, it's wrong. It'd be wrong right away. But I really don't think Heinz needed that much of the drugs to wipe out the whole thing. But let's just say it was his last dose of the medicine that Heinz needed. Then yeah, he'd be in the wrong. You know, I think he'd definitely be in the wrong.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.